Hey folks, welcome back to the latest scoop on the Iraqi Dinar. If you're tracking the revaluation buzz, buckle up. We've got some fresh insights from the gurus that could signal big moves ahead. Let's jump right in. First off, Mountain Goat is highlighting the arrival of the U.S. ambassador in Iraq, with the U.S. president's envoy set to touch down soon. The big agenda? Tackling those lingering security issues tied to Iranian-backed militia still hanging around. The core message hasn't changed. Iraq needs to boot them out. Check this out from a recent article. Washington is urging Baghdad to break up those Iranian militias while pledging full support in their partnership. Sure, total dismantling might not happen overnight before revaluation, but a rock-solid plan could be enough to push things forward. Fingers crossed. Let's hope they've got that commitment locked in so the RV can roll. Shifting gears to Frank 26, who's buzzing about CBI Governor Alak appearing on Iraq's main news channel. Alak dropped a bombshell, telling citizens they're rolling out a multiple exchange rate system. Hold on before you panic. No, this doesn't mean dual rates forever. Iraq's sticking to one unified rate in the end, aiming for that sweet one-to-one parity. This multi-rate setup is just a bridge, helping them shift from the current fixed 1.32 rate to a floating one beyond their borders. It's a classic move for currencies starting low, letting global supply and demand crank up the value. Pretty clever, right? Now, Sandy Ingram points out something intriguing. The U.S. has constructed the world's biggest consulate right in northern Iraq. Why does this matter? It screams progress, suggesting we're inching closer to safer travel and visits to the country. Imagine that. Boots on the ground could be in reach. Over to Walking Stick, who breaks it down simply. Inside Iraq, they're locking in a fixed rate to hit that one-to-one match with the U.S. dollar, not tied down by a peg, but standing equal. Outside the country, though, the dinar is gearing up for a float on international markets. That's where investors like us come in, driving demand and boosting the value skyward. Picture it starting around $3.22, possibly capping at $4.25 as they've hinted. This multi-rate approach is the key to making it all happen smoothly. Claire's got an eye on this article about economic diplomacy paving new paths for Iraq's growth. The Prime Minister's financial advisor, Mazhar Mohammad Saleh, says it's opening doors to a more varied economy. Think stronger global standing, less vulnerability to shocks, and a setup built to weather worldwide ups and downs. Solid steps toward stability. Exciting times. Back with Frank 26 on the official Gazette from December 1, 2025. The CBI governor himself lays out details on a potential rate shift. It's not a full how-to on exchanging currency for everyday folks, but more like a heads-up. Here's what we're launching, what you need to know, and the nitty-gritty details. Alak's making sure all this info hits the streets via the Gazette, keeping citizens in the loop. Militant Man's fired up about investor vibes. Iraq's emerging market status is turning heads, especially with powerhouse financial firms and energy giants already on board. When markets spot that kind of growth potential, FOMO kicks in hard, fear of missing out. Wrapping this up by year's end could spark massive positivity and hype up the markets big time. Quick note from Pimpy to clear the air. Nominal value is just what the government assigns to those banknotes, basically the face worth of the paper. Don't mix it up with the exchange rate. They're two different beasts entirely. Wrapping up with Frank 26's bold take, this December, a bunch of global currencies are lining up for value tweaks come the new year. In my view, the Iraqi dinar is the powerhouse anchor holding it all together, the top dog sparking a worldwide currency reset. There you have it, team. Stay tuned, keep watching, and let's see where this ride takes us. Drop your thoughts below.